Welcome to the first episode of G&G Sports.
Today we're going to be talking about not only the 2023 NBA Finals, but the story of both teams leading up to it, and mainly focusing on the Miami Heat and their journey to the Finals.
So, first of all, the Miami Heat at the very beginning had a mediocre season, finishing as like the 8th seed, winning or losing the first playing game, but winning the second one, becoming the 8th seed and taking down the 1 seed Bucks and the favorited Celtics. Actually, had their huge underdog story and became the underdogs in the NBA Finals, yet still coming short 4-1 in the series. Although they didn't have Tyler Hero, which is probably the main reason why.
Yeah. Now let's not forget that when they did play the Celtics, however, they were up 3-0 in the series.
That's
but
true.
then they almost did choke that lead away, forcing a Game 7 that thankfully the Heat won. Now we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets started off this season really strong in the first half, and then towards the second, and after the second half, it became a it became mediocre, but they still finished as the first seed. And of course, everybody remembers that they defeated the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals,
Swept them.
and they got the home field advantage for the first 2 games. And we all remember, obviously, Jokic's 30-20-10 performance in Game 4.
That was crazy.
It was insane. I mean, that's just a true. I think he won Finals MVP, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe you did too. And also, let's not forget that this was the Nuggets' first ever NBA Finals appearance, and they won it. So, very good for Jokic and the Nuggets.
Yeah, I mean, the fans seemed into it. I mean, the stadium atmosphere was electric. Not only in Denver, but in Miami.
In Miami. Miamians were excited too after they won that second game in Denver. They thought they were going to come to Miami, win both games, but that's not how it turned out.
Yeah, unfortunately. We should probably talk about Jimmy Butler's sort of lackluster performance, though.
Jimmy Butler was him during the playoffs, but also, I think in this past series, the finals, I think we should talk more about Bam, because Bam seemed better than Jimmy Butler in that series to me.
All right, yeah.
He popped off.
Yeah, I really think he took over the Miami Heat team, especially because Jimmy Butler last night was awful. I mean, he looked in awful form.
Yeah.
He didn't score. I think he only scored 8 points.
He had a terrible performance.
And let's not forget, Jokic also started out awful. He gave up 2 fouls in the span of 3 minutes. That Miami defense is what I really want to focus on today, though, because their defense was physical. It was direct. And it was really effective. I mean,
to me, it was electric. It was crazy.
Yeah, up until the second half, it was completely electric. Going into halftime, I think most people thought that they were going to force a Game 6
in Miami. That's what I thought too. And then I saw how the second half went.
I mean, they came back from 18 points.
Yeah.
And to take a lead. And
the Nuggets' second half, though, was really good. We can't forget that. We can't just, say, oh, Miami just sucked at the end. No, the Nuggets and Jokic had a crazy second half, come back and revive themselves to take their first title in 5 games.
Yeah, and, I mean, I can't think of a better story to that, because everybody always wants to meme Jokic because, he was selected by the Nuggets during an ad break. But I really think that now with this title, and I think the Finals MVP, he is going to be one of the most respected big men for years to come.
Yeah, I think so too, because I saw all the stats. His stats now were crazy, and he's up there with Magic and Wilt and LeBron and Michael Jordan. I think he's up there, and he may finish. I thought that Miami team was going to force a Game 6 goal. Not only going into halftime, I think they started off slow. I mean, definitely, down 18 points. It was looking bleak. Boom, boom, boom. Points were just getting dropped. Denver didn't know what to do. And Jokic was still on the bench, which was definitely a questionable move, I think, in most people's mind. I knew he'd given up 2 fouls, but still, it seemed a little much to put your star man on the bench. Yeah, there's definitely that. But also, what's his name? Jamal Murray? Like, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he popped off, too. He had an astonishing performance there at the very end of that series in that last game, Game 5. That was also pretty good. Like, he is also now, I'm sure, one of the most respected players in the NBA with Jokic. And also, what does this mean for the future? Does this mean that the Nuggets can start a dynasty and become one of the most respected teams in the NBA for years to come?
I mean, this is a great question lingering on most people's mind. And let's be honest here. Let's be frank. This was not the finals the NBA wanted. They wanted Lakers versus Celtics. A good old rivalry straight from the 80s. You know, when Larry Bird, like they really wanted that great, fierce rivalry. And, I mean, they still got a great games. Don't get me wrong. But the NBA, you could definitely tell that the NBA did not want this finals match.
They did not.
However, it was a great selling point because most of these leagues are just selling. You know, all of this is just marketing. I mean, they sold a great story. You know, Jokic, a boy from Serbia, got his chance in the NBA, 2-time MVP. All he's missing on his resume is the finals. And he brought it to the city of Denver, especially because they've had really lackluster performances recently. Not only in professional sports, but I mean college sports. I mean, Colorado University hasn't been doing that well, but that's besides the point. I think it's brought a lot of hope to Denver sports.
And when I saw Russ in that crowd in Game 5, I was really hoping that they would undercook that performance.
And I was hoping Patrick Star would come on the broadcast. That's not what he wanted to cook, all right. No, but I respect to the Nuggets, and if any of them are watching this, we want you to know that we loved your game, and if any of the Heat are watching it, good luck. Better luck next time. You guys did awesome though, and you guys really were just both of the teams were just awesome. I thought honestly the coaching as well.
Yeah, coaching was
phenomenal. We can't forget about the coaches. I mean, the plays, the zone defense.
Yes.
I mean, it was awesome. Not only was the crowd electric, the players were electric, and that's what really gets me into a game.
Exactly.
Unless I'm at the stadium, because if you're at the stadium, it doesn't matter if my team's down like 120 to like 98. Nah. If that crowd's electric, I'm electric.
It's a lot of sports, really.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for watching the first episode of G&G Sports. Next time, we will talk about how the Lightning, although winning 2 Stanley Cups, have been first rounded, especially by the Toronto Maple Leafs, a franchise that has not seen much success since the 60s.